Hey y'all, what's up? What's good, y'all? It's your girl Malia back again with another video. I'm not sure if I said my intro right, but yeah. So if you guys are ready, then let's get into this video. So I'm back with another video, as you guys can obviously tell. If you guys haven't watched this video, go check it out. I was basically talking about the story behind. I was basically addressing the situation. Like, a lot of people was thinking like, oh, a lot of people was coming for me. Let's not do that. But let's just say a lot of people was coming for me, and I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna just give y'all like a backlash of what happened. Not a backlash, but like a flashback of what happened. So in my recent video, if you guys haven't watched it, it'll be in the description. But no, honestly, y'all. Okay, how can I explain this? So, if you guys haven't seen that video, I was basically telling y'all about the fantasy world that I have. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But yeah, so I was basically telling y'all about the fantasy world that I have. With this dude named Lyric Wicchieto. It sounds like a weird name, but I'm gonna just tell you who he is. So, Lyric Wicchieto is he's okay, I would say famous, but he's not that famous as to other rappers. If you guys get what I mean. So, he's famous. He's a famous person, but he's not famous. Why can I not speak? He is famous on the surface. Like, he's more of, he doesn't really make music like that, but he's famous to me, if that makes sense. Don't worry about this scar. I don't know why it's on lately, y'all. I don't know why I had this scar, but it's just gonna go away within a few days. So not within a few days, but within a few weeks if it ends up healing. I don't know. But yeah, so lately I've been getting backlash. I almost said flashbacks. I've been getting backlash about my fantasy world. Now, if you guys don't know about my fantasy world, that's why I'm here to tell y'all. That's why this is what this video is about. So, recap on the video. So, I basically told y'all about the story with me, Big Bug, and the dude that I just mentioned. And I even had his initials on here, but then I just washed it off because it was a stripey, whatever. But yeah, so basically, how can I say it? Me and him are fantasizingly together. Okay, me and him are fantasizingly engaged, because a lot of y'all was wondering if me and him was engaged for real. Do you see a ring on this finger? No. Do you see a ring on this finger? No. I am not engaged realistically, but I'm engaged fantasizingly. So I just had to clear the air, because a lot of y'all was about to come for me and make the situation worse than what it already is, and I can't have that. So, stop calling me Devontae. So, yeah, so a lot of y'all was coming for me in that part. So, I had to just clear the air on that video. But yeah, so I had to just say that because a lot of y'all was going to be like, well, who is she dating? You know, yeah, it was going to be that. So, I've been okay, so since I was 10, I'm going to just say this. Since I was 10 years old, I've been in a fantasy world. What is a fantasy world? A world that's not real. A fantasy world is a world that's not real. That's what a fantasy world is. A lot of y'all might have been in fantasy worlds when y'all was little, but yeah, that's what a world is. That's what a fantasy world is. A world that's not real. I'm gonna call you back, Devontae. But yeah, so and I feel like I had to just come on here and say this, because I really shouldn't have to explain myself in this video, but a lot of y'all was coming for me, so I had to explain it in this damn video again, which I shouldn't have to, because I shouldn't have to explain my fantasy world in this video, but a lot of y'all was making a big deal out of it, so damn it, here I am. Anyways, so yes. So, a fantasy world in my world. I've been having a fantasy world since I was 10, if not a little bit younger. And the first dude that I had a crush on was this dude, Hitman Holla. If y'all don't know who that is, that's sad. He's from Wildin' Out. Get it right. Yeah. So I've had a fantasy world since I was little. Like, for years, I've had a fantasy world. And I have not been able to, I wouldn't say able, because I am able to get out of it. I just don't want to. That's the thing. I choose not to. I do want to get out. It's not that I don't. It's just that, it's not that I can't. It's that I won't get out of my fantasy world. And I'm not going to, because that's my fantasy world, and I'm going to live it on until I don't even know how long I'm going to end it for. So that's basically my fantasy world. So a lot of y'all was wondering. Okay, so I'm gonna just explain the deeper meaning of this fantasy world that I have. It's more, you have to just, like, it's like peeling the layers off of an onion. I think that's the best example I can give y'all. So my fantasy world, y'all, is a deeper meaning than just a world that's not real. My fantasy world is more deeper. Like, I'm talking about, like, more than just surface. Like, it's like going deep down in the ocean where the lights, like, where there's no lights. That's how deep my fantasy world is. It's really, 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 it's not self-explanatory at all. Like, it's really, like, I have to explain it. Like, explain it conversation-wise. Like, that's how bad my fantasy world is. Okay? But yeah, so basically how my fantasy world works is surface level. I have two worlds. I have reality, and I have fantasy, which is the one that I'm talking about right now. My reality is, I know that I'm here. I know that I exist, obviously. And I know that I am capable of I know that I can do what I'm capable of doing. That's my reality world. I know that I have people around me, and I know that I have other human beings around me, and I know that I have a sound mind and a peace of mind. I know that. But my reality, but my fantasy world, on the other hand, is more deeper. See, now my fantasy world is more than just, like somebody pretending. There's a difference between pretending and a fantasy world. Pretending is what little kids do with my children. Fantasy, I'm going to get into that as well later in this video. But pretending is like something that my nieces and nephews might do. My niece and nephew might do. That's pretending. You're pretending kitty-wise. Fantasy is a deeper meaning. Like, okay, so how can I say this? Pretending and fantasy is more, like, fantasy sounds more deeper than pretending. Because pretending is more on a surface level. Fantasy is more deeper than that. So, my fantasy world is bad. Like, it's like an addiction, you know? And my parents even know this. Like, it's bad. And a lot of y'all like come for me on this video, but I can't give a fuck at this point. I can't care. I'm coming to you as how I am. So my fantasy world, I know that I'm here, and I know that no one's around me. I have voices in my head, y'all. I'm fucked up in the mind. I'm gonna just say that right now. I have a fucked up mindset. I won't say a fucked up mindset, but I have a fucked up way of thinking a little bit. Now, I don't have a disorder. I don't have autism. Because a lot of y'all was thinking I had autism. No. I don't have autism, and I don't have a fucking disorder. I'm not diagnosed with anything. And I'm just a normal girl with a fantasy world. That's all. But yeah, so how can I explain this? Where do I even know? I don't even know where to start. Okay. So my fantasy world is this. I have voices in my head a little bit of, and I don't have schizophrenia. That's the word. I don't have schizophrenia, where it's like deep voices in my head, where I can hear myself, and where I have voices in my head and then respond to them. I don't have schizophrenia, and I want y'all to know that, because schizophrenia is more like people on drugs type shit. Like, that's schizophrenia. Like, you actually hear voices in your head and you respond to those. That's schizophrenia. Those are people with that's on drugs. But yeah, so me and my fantasy world, I'm more deeper with my fantasy world than you guys probably think. My fantasy world is more than just me talking to myself. That's the best way I can put it. I talk to myself, yo. I just do. I be in my room all the time, talking to myself as if someone's there and no one's even here. Like, I just talk to myself. That's just me. But yeah, so I talk to myself when I'm at school in certain places. I talk to myself when I'm at home. I talk to myself in the car. I just talk to myself all the time, and no one's there. I just act like somebody's there just to, you know, make it seem like, oh, she's crazy. But I'm not that crazy, like delusional crazy. I am delusional. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm Delulu. God damn, I'm Delulu. I'm delusional. But no, honestly, I'm delusional, y'all. Like, I'm actually delusional. I'm crazy. Like, I'm not crazy to the point of breaking somebody's car door, but I'm crazy. I'm just put it like that. I'm crazy. I'm delusional. I'm not psycho, but I'm crazy. I have a crazy mind. I'm a crazy girl. But yeah, so my fantasy world, I'm just gonna get straight to the point because I've been talking for 11 minutes and I gotta get to the video. So my fantasy world is where I act like somebody's there, but I don't. Like, I obviously know no one's there, but like, I just talk to myself as if someone's there. So me and Lyric, like, I know that he's not with me realistically, because he's a grown man. He wouldn't date a girl like me. Now, a lot of y'all, like I said, was wondering if he knows that I exist. Yes. Does he know that I'm in a fantasy world? No. But I'm in a fantasy world with him. Now, like I said, y'all, I manifested. I'm big on manifesting. I'm a big fan of manifesting. Like, if y'all don't know me, that's sad. Because y'all been on my page for a long time and y'all don't even know that I like manifesting. That's crazy. But anyway, yeah, so my my fantasizing world is manifesting at this point. So what I do is I act like he's there, because I like to manifest it in a sense of knowing that me and Lyric are gonna get together in the future. That's how bad I want this dude. Like, I don't want him that bad, but I want him. Like, I want him. I don't need him, but I want him. I feel like God is saving me for him. That's how bad I want this dude. Like, think about it. Me and Lyric, we've been mentioning each other on each other's stories. And I even have a fucking highlight of this dude in my Instagram page. On my Instagram page. But that's how bad my shit is. Like, I even posted on my Instagram. Like, do you guys not get it? I'm in a fantasy world. And my fantasy world is that bad to the point where I manifest it. To the point where I know that we're going to get together in the future. That's how bad I fell in love with this dude. Like, I love this dude. I love him. I'm obsessed. I'm delusional over Lyric Luciano. Like, I'm delusional over him. So, yeah, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird because I'm coming to y'all and telling y'all about my fantasy world. Because a lot of y'all was wondering, like, when is she going to come clean? When is she going to come clean about her fantasy world? I'm telling y'all, I have a fucking crush on Lyric Luciano, bro. He's not going anywhere. Like, he's not going anywhere. That's how bad ooh, that's how bad I have a crush on this bro. On this dude, bro. It's scary, but it's not scary for me. It's scary for y'all because y'all think y'all are not in fantasy roles. But I am. I'm the only girl that's in a fantasy role right now. And it's crazy. And it's scary. But it's not scary to me because I'm in the fantasy role. Y'all are not. And that's what's scaring y'all because y'all, I talk to myself. Like, no shit. I talk to myself. No lie. Like, it's bad. How can I say this? Okay, so yeah. So along with my fantasy world, I have fantasy kids. Now, a lot of y'all was wondering, who are these fantasy kids and why don't you post them on your story? Why don't you post them anywhere on social media? Because I have fantasy kids, y'all. I'm gonna just tell y'all the names because I know y'all see them right there, but it's just too far away for y'all to see. You got Melody, you got Dixie, you got Kaden with the K, the girl, and you got Rhea. Those are my 4 girls. And you got the 4 boys. You got Hustle, you got Jordan, you got Kaden with a C, and you got CJ. Now, I'm going to tell y'all how I end up with these names. And you guys are probably wondering, you come up with the most narcissistic names for these kids. Get it together, Leah. Like, get it together all about Leah. I'm going to tell y'all. Melody. Melody came about when I was pregnant with her. But I wasn't pregnant with her realistically. Because obviously I would have told y'all if I was that I was pregnant. But I was pregnant with her fantasizingly. And while I was sitting down in my room with Lyric, was going on a rant about what name I should name my daughter. And he was like, I've been thinking about the name. The name Melody has been on my mind. Now, I thought about this name first, but he came up with the name. If that makes sense. So, like, I wouldn't say that he came up with the name, but I mostly came up with the name Melody. Because I was listening to music one day, and it was a girl whose name is Melody. A girl's name is Melody, and I can't tell y'all who I was listening to, but he actually has a daughter named Melody. And that's just so pretty to me. Like, a melody. Think about it. Melody. It's like the melody in the song. Melody. So I was like, okay. So the original melody is spelled Melody. That's the original melody. Now, I would like my kids' names to be unique. Now, I was like, okay. Now, how can I spell this name, Melody? I was like, Mealodi. Melody. Now, I like to put extra letters in my kids' names to make it more unique, to make it stand out more. So, Melody. Okay, I was like, okay. Then, Dixie. Now, if you guys don't know Dixie D'Amelio, she's part of the D'Amelio family, and that's where the Luciano family came actually about. But I'm gonna talk about that later. Dixie's name came about when I was watching Dixie D'Amelio, the famous YouTuber, yada yada. And I was like, Dixie, like when Dixie. But no, like, I was just saying, Dixie was actually like a cute name, like a pretty name. So I was like, okay. Now I'm going to come up with Dixie. Now, the original Dixie's name is spelled Dixie. No. I decided to put, and within my Dixie's name is Dixkie. Now, like I said, y'all like to put letters in my kids' names to make it more unique. And to make it stand out more. I'm going to put y'all somewhere else that way. Okay. So, yeah. So, Dixie came about when I was listening to Dixie D'Amelio, or not listening to her, but like watching her videos. And I was like, you know, Dixie is actually a cute name. Like, who wouldn't want to name their daughter Dixie? So I was like, okay, so Dixie. So that's how Dixie came along, because Dixie D'Amelio. Rhea, on the other hand, Rhea came along when I was watching this girl, and her name was Leia. Like layup, but it's Leia, Laya. So pretty. I should have named her that. I should have named Rhea that. But I decided to just, you know, go with the flow. And I was like, okay, so I don't want to use the same exact name, but what can I exchange L with? He was like, R. Okay. Now R, Leia, Rhea, get it? So I was like, okay. And that's where Rhea came along. Rhea, Leia. It's the same thing, but it's just with an R instead of an L. Now, Caden, with the K, came along when I was, you guys may be thinking I'm making these stories up. I'm really not making these stories up. Like, these stories are actually true. But yeah, so Caden came along when with the K. That name actually came along when I was in the kitchen cleaning, and I was pregnant with her too, obviously. But yeah, so I was just in the kitchen cleaning, and the Holy Spirit came up to me. And I almost said the Holy Spirit came up to me, but the Holy Spirit told me something. It was like, Caden. The Holy Spirit just told me that. Caden. And I was like, okay. Caden, but with either a K or a C. He said a K. That's where Caden with the K came from. So those are my 4 girls and my 4 boys. You got Hustle. Now this one is more just straight blunt. Like, seriously. So Hustle, you guys may be thinking like, Hustle. But who would name their child Hustle? Me. Get over it. But no, seriously. Hustle actually came along when I was going through Instagram and I saw Nipsey Hussle, the guy that died in Los Angeles, California, Lauren London's husband.